I have wanted one of these for over 20 years. That's not an exaggeration. August of 2000, these started coming out, and I wanted one ever since high school. And I've had opportunity to buy them in the past, but they come up on eBay and they're used and they're beat up, and I don't know the condition, all the rest of it when it gets here. And when I have my handhelds, my PDAs, my vintage PDAs, I like them to be in, I call it museum quality condition. And what better way to ensure that than to have one that is factory sealed, new in the box. This has been like this for over 20 years. I had to ask the seller. I said, what what's the story? How is this possible? They didn't want their information out, which I completely understand. I'm not going to put somebody's information out on the internet. But they said it was part of a kind of an auction lot that they got that was purchased from QVC, that however many years ago, that was never touched. It was this, it was the portable keyboard, and it was a DVD showing, or a CD-ROM showing how to work the thing. That was it. And he actually thinks that he sent me these things in the original QVC box, which, when you think about it, that's why I love getting the story, the backstory of what exactly happened. Because I can't imagine somebody who's ponying up the $450 plus another $50 or $100 for the keyboard is buying something like this that is so heavily business from back in the day on QVC. Did they order that? And then somebody's grandma was going to start a hedge fund, and then all of a sudden they changed their mind. I don't quite understand. But it's okay, because whatever the story happened to be, there is one of these brand new. The 7X, to me, was so interesting. I had a 3XE that I still have, that I purchased when I was in high school. My grandfather got it for me. It was great. And I used it. And I loved the Palm platform. And I used it in high school. And we had the IR Blaster games and all the rest of it. And we just had a ton of fun with it. It was a fantastic device. But I always looked at the 7X. I always saw them on Tech TV. And I said, boy, would that be cool. Because we were walking around back then. You think, well, geez, what's the point of something like this connected to the internet? We were walking around with phones that looked like this. Okay? They were flip phones. They weren't even color. They had nothing. Phone book was a fancy feature. So if you had something, I think this was the first consumer electronics device that had the internet integrated into the apps. It may be wrong. That's an odd classification. But it's one of the first devices that could pull information cellularly, wirelessly, through the cellular network. And I think they used Bell South. We're going to take a look at the box in a moment. And get that data in there and then feed it into apps that then you could see what was going on, and through stocks and news and weather. And we're going to look through all of the ones that you get, and email, wireless email, which was cool. So this was certainly something special. And the service, I think, was, I think it started at $10. It's on here. It's on the box. And it went up to $45, $45.99 for unlimited. And for the $10 a month, you got 50 kilobytes of data. Now, we're going to talk about that, because that's not as awful as it sounds. Because don't forget, this is 20-something years ago. These applications were mostly, the information that was being swapped in and out of these applications was text-based, because the graphics that were going to be used for the app would be on the device itself. So it's swapping out text. But still, think about that. 50 kilobytes for $10 a month. And that, if anything will make you feel 100 years old, it's being around and using technology when it was new, back in an era where 50 kilobytes would cost you money per month. But it's okay, because there's people out there watching that I'm sure you dealt with, like bits and slide rules and stuff like that. So I don't feel that bad. All right, so let's take a look around this thing. What are the apps? The really cool thing about, and the fact that I love that a 7X came up instead of a 7, is a 7 was slightly older. It was older than even the Palm 3. Kind of, it had older processor, older screen technology, less in memory and RAM. So we're going to talk about the upgrades here. But the other cool thing about the Palm 7X is that they took all of the Palm user, like the third-party apps, some of the more popular ones that people had developed and companies had developed for the Palm 7X platform, because they did release it. There was a PQA, Palm Query application or something like that, that allowed you to integrate your app with the wireless technology and be able to draw data from the cellular service. So the Palm 7X, what they did is they installed a lot of the most popular third-party apps into the Palm 7X ROM, which is really cool. So you got the compatible software here, the usual suspects from back in the day: AOL Mail, Earthlink, Eudora, Lotus, Microsoft Outlook, all the rest of it, Yahoo Messenger, any other email, all that stuff. But here are the premier web clipping applications. They called it web clipping because it wasn't accessing the web. You weren't pulling down web pages because A, that would take up way too much data, be way too slow. This is a 9600 baud modem. So I think that was the first. I think 9600 is the first speed I connected at the internet with on a desktop. It wasn't 14.4. It was 96. So you can imagine the speeds here. But you wouldn't be doing that over the air back in 2000, downloading entire web pages. And the point is, 16-bit grayscale, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to do anyway. And it would eat up your bandwidth. So really no issue there. So it was these applications. So they had Juno, Thin Air Mail, which was really neat because it kind of worked around because you had to connect through the PalmNet service to get your messaging and your email and all the rest of it. So this Thin Air Mail actually figured out a way around that and a way to connect your regular email to that, if I remember correctly. CBS Market Watch, E-Trade, Fidelity, Prudential, ESPN, Local News, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, all this cool stuff. Ask Jeeves. That's a throwback. Barpoint, Excite Mobile, the dictionary, yellow pages. Amazon.com still there 20-something years later. BarnesandNoble.com. Buy.com? I haven't heard that in a long, long time. Then travel stuff, MapQuest. You could get directions as well through this wirelessly through the air, which is pretty neat for 2000. When you think back when we were printing out MapQuest directions, no need. You could go ahead and get something like this. Now, oh, by the way, I would put it's too late now. But I'm going to put one of those notations of when the unboxing actually starts because people say, oh, it's rambling. Get to the unboxing starts at 10 minutes in. Yeah, because I've been waiting 20 years, so there's going to be a bit of rambling. I'm a little nervous. I don't know. I know that I'm pretty sure that they didn't keep the batteries in the device when they shipped them. I'm pretty sure they were separate, so those are going to be toasted, so it doesn't matter. We're going to try to preserve the outside, even the wrapping, because I think that's cool. Get to go, save on Palm, $100 rebate for the PalmNet service, and the box itself is just so neat. Where does it say the bit about Bell South? So this is the service areas, palm.net. And then I think it says powered by Bell South. Oh, yeah, there you go. Wireless data network by Bell South. Just really neat. So we're going to crack it open. I hope the styrofoam or anything like that or whatever it was packed in hasn't ruined it. We're doing it live. It's been in a box for 20 years. I know it's painful sometimes to unbox things like this, but you know what? I've waited so long for a great example of this. I'm ripping into this one. So there it is. So whoever the QVC host was that day, your last sale is finally being used. Let's go ahead and open this up. If I can get it open. I hope I did that right. Oh, yes. Oh, here we go. It is officially open. It's like Christmas morning. All right. That is off. The moment of truth. August 2000 Air about to come out of the box. Oh, there we go. Okay, so good. Batteries off to the side. Back when you had the power indicator on the batteries. Remember that? How cool was that back in the day? Yeah, you could hold both ends. It'll tell you how much battery was left. So here's the manual. Big, thick manual for the wireless. That's pretty cool. Read this first. We're going to get into all that. So I'm going to unbox this here, okay? And then if you want to see more with this device, I really would encourage you to become a channel member. I do a lot of stuff with PDAs and older laptops. All this kind of older electronic stuff is where I enjoy that. It's on my on the channel membership. You get those exclusive videos. So this one that was an upgrade in processor and screen, like I said, but also the 8 megabyte version, which was good. That was the store. 8 megabytes of storage, by the way. So kind of a Palm carrying case. Little crushed, basically, at this point. That's fine. Okay. It's been in there for forever. So there's that. Still neat. It's not been, like, rubberized or anything like that. So I don't know what this was made out of. But it's not those things that kind of liquefy or whatever over time. It's still something I'm probably going to throw up. But either way. The cradle, which is good. With the serial connector. And also, well, we know we're at 2000 because we got the serial connector for your serial port. But in case you don't have a free one or something is going wrong with yours, the parallel port. So you could go ahead, put the adapter on, have the serial link, and connect this into your power lamp for your printer. Those are some fast data connection speeds, I can tell you that. And then the device itself, and we're going to throw that out. Those are the batteries. So we'll move this out of the way. And let's take a look. Let's go ahead and get this out of here. And here it is. We're going to unbox the keyboard after this, but I just want to go ahead and get into this bad boy. Try to preserve as much of this as possible. And how are we doing? Is this device in good shape? Come on. Oh, it still has the screen protector on it. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Look at that. And then you have the antenna for the wireless. How cool is that? 20 years, well worth it. We're going to peel it off? Yeah, let's do it live. Come on. Oh, yeah. So satisfying. That is cool. All right, going to cut it here, put batteries in it. We're going to quick scoot around. And we're back, powered up. Absolutely no problem. I could not be more thrilled. And what was great about the X version of these is not only did you get the 16-bit grayscale, but the contrast was a heck of a lot better, and it was easier to see the LCD. Also, this pen is the best palm pen. You were paying $450 for this at the time, which I don't even know what that would translate to today, but the best palm pen I've ever held. Like a metallic material here, whatever it is, but just really thick. Nice, good weight to the pen. So we'll go through some of these. I doubt we're going to be able to get past the splash screen because the stuff just isn't set up. But let's look at what the Barnes & Noble app would have looked like back then. Oh, look at that. Wireless shopping. Books. Find stores. You could send an e-card through here. And search music. So I'm doing this through the viewfinder, so bear with me here. Let's see what the Amazon app looked like back in the day. All products, books, DVDs, home improvements, video software, toys, electronics. Wow, and you could do it right from here. You could do the shopping, but you can see it's not, the graphics were contained here, and they would just update the text bit of it, but that's still really cool. Let's see, what else do we have? Let's do ABC News. Let's see what happens here. Headlines. There you go. Just basically all the text headlines from 2000. You can see it there. Let's go down a little bit. What do we got? iMessenger. That's basically how the email would work back and forth. Movie phone. Didn't have to dial that number anymore. You could find the movie and the theater. Hello and welcome to movie. Right on your thing. You didn't have to worry about it. How cool was that? And then what else do we have here? Travelocity, Palm. Let's pull up MapQuest to see what the splash screen looks like there. Driving directions, traffic reports. So you go traffic reports, auto find traffic, select the city. That's just really neat. And then the backlight. The backlight works. Everything works on it. This is too cool. I'm going to have too much fun installing old apps in here. I will absolutely be carrying this around. Let's unbox the keyboard real quick. I've kept you long enough, but like I said, if you want to see more about that stuff, we're definitely going to do more, but go ahead and consider a channel membership. Keeps us independent, helps out, keeps me affording this stuff as well. So let's go ahead and open up the keyboard for it. I never got a keyboard for a Palm, ever. I don't know if I just never felt the need for it, but they were always really cool. But I remember they were kind of expensive, but now, you only have to just wait 20 years. Everything comes down in price eventually. This box has never been opened, never touched. Okay, so it's got a, how do you open this? How do I open? Oh, same way as you open the thing. Okay. Handbook. When you got a manual for everything, a keyboard. You need a book to know how to use a keyboard? No, but you got one anyway. Palm keyboard. Oh boy, and this was thick too. See, this is and it comes in the carrying case still. This is when you got quality. You paid a lot of money, but you got what you paid for. This has a great weight to it. Look at this. Look at this. This is better than the laptop keyboards you get today. I'm going to have to read the instructions to figure out how to close that gap, if you even can. Maybe you can't. Maybe there's got to be some sort of way to do that, where you kind of close it in a little bit. Slide it in. Oh, does this way? Oh, look at that. You release these little clamps. Oh, that is nice. This is a great, I could imagine, how cool is, look. You're going to be sitting there. Figure out how to hook this up. Someday I will. But you put this in here. You're sitting there. You're writing your emails back and forth in 2000 wirelessly. That's just neat. But I've kept you long enough. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm going to be having fun playing with this for quite a while. Quite a while. And then you pull it back out to lock it back into place. You slide it back into place. That's just really neat. And you know, some of the keys are a little mushed for being in there for, you know, however many years. We're going to work on that. But I can't imagine them being squished together for 20 some odd years was good. But like I said, if you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.